Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and today I want to share with you this book called Teaching Mathematics in Rudolf Steiner Schools for classes 1 through 8. This is by Ron Jarman, and you can find the link to this book in the description box below. Now this is a requested video, and if you have a video that you'd like to request as well, you can let me know. Now the question that brought about this video is basically, is it worth it to buy this book? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this book, and then it also depends what curriculum you're using, whether it's worth it to buy this book or not. This is probably the most comprehensive book I've ever seen on teaching mathematics for Steiner Schools or Waldorf education. This has everything, absolutely everything you're going to need to know, from even development all the way through curriculum, through types of questions, through even lesson examples. However, this is not a curriculum at all. So if you were looking to use this solely as your curriculum, you are going to need to be prepared to write your own lessons. And you could do this completely on your own, or you could look online and get inspiration from what other families have done. But this is basically the theory behind what is taught and when it's taught in a Waldorf school, as well as examples. It comes with a lot of extra information. Sometimes you won't get this in a curriculum. You will on occasion, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but sometimes you won't get the wisdom behind why certain things are taught when in a Waldorf school. And the scope and sequence of the curriculum is really amazing. It is one of the best I've seen, to be honest. Now, on the surface, the Waldorf philosophy, as well as many other educational philosophies, are going to have a lot of similarities, because at the core, each of these philosophies looks at the child, looks at the developmental stages, and then appropriates certain information that should be taught during those different stages. And the Waldorf curriculum does the same thing as well. What's unique in the approach is how not just the physical development of the child is addressed, but also the spiritual development, the emotional development, and then why certain lessons are important at certain stages in order to complement that development, and also maybe ease some discomforts that children might have, especially during the 9-year change. And I encourage you to look that up. During the 9-year change, there's a lot of uncertainty for a child. It's when a child's ability to look at the past really comes together. Before then, the past doesn't make as much sense to the child. There's a lot of changes going on for the child at that time, and the curriculum responds to those changes by encouraging certain lessons to be taught that can ease that sense of wanting to find your place in the world. So the mathematics curriculum is also going to complement the development of a child. So this book is going to have all the information that you need. It is dense. It reads like a textbook. It's intriguing. It fills you with more questions, and you want to read it. However, when I forgot to say this, I have not read this book cover to cover. For me, this is more of a reference book, although it's so worth it to read it cover to cover. When I read this book, I'll read a section or a couple of pages, and then I have to stop and just let the information seep into my brain, and I think about it, and I contemplate it for a while before I return to the book. It's so rich with information. Now, I use a Waldorf curriculum by Live Education, and that curriculum is so well written that if you didn't have this, you would have all the lessons you need for math for every subject. In addition, the Live Education curriculum also comes with information on the development of the child, how to place the different main lessons throughout the year, what kind of lessons to be, doing and complementing the main lessons. And it also goes through a bit of the Waldorf philosophy as well. So even if you were never exposed to the Waldorf philosophy and you didn't know which book to buy, buying the Live Education curriculum would be enough to give you background information on the philosophy, a little bit about child development, how to organize your school year, and of course the curriculum. This is really for the person who wants to dive into math, who wants to know more about this particular subject area, somebody who's really enthusiastic about math, who needs more information than what a typical curriculum is going to offer. This is also ideal if you want to write your own curriculum. There is enough information in here, enough examples, and enough background information for you to be able to do that. Okay, so I hope that gives you enough information about this book to determine whether this is the right fit for your family. I know for us, it is such a treasure to have. I'm going to keep this book pretty much in my library forever. I have no intentions of passing it on. Unless you're in my local homeschooling community and you really want to borrow it. But basically, this book is just going to be part of our homeschool library pretty much forever. Okay, so if you have any specific questions about this book, please let me know about them in the comment section below. And if you would like to see some of the work that we have done for math, I have a complete playlist for geometry, and you can see a lot of the different lessons that we did using the live education curriculum for our main lesson in geometry.